So I have a question for
Yeah.
you. Like, how did you acquire that car?
That's a funny story.
Because okay, you're not an older guy.
No.
So you know what I mean. That's why I'm kind of curious because a lot of us, I guess you could say the younger people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go for the more newer car, the more quicker car, the more this kind of car, you know. And you went for a classic. So,
Yeah.
How did you acquire that, or what was it in your mindset that you're just like, I want that?
Yeah. So at the time, I had a 2000 V6 Mustang, and that was like my first like foray into the whole Mustang scene. I'm pretty sure you remember SoCal Mustangs.
Are they still around?
As far as I know, they just do like their own little private runs.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really hang out with them as much anymore, but whatever.
Yeah, I think the politics and stuff gets.
I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
we'll go over that later in this episode.
I get that.
But a lot of them own classic Mustangs, and so we all became friends. And at the time, I'm sorry. So I was like, do I get a classic car or do I? Because the 2018 Mustang body style came out, and I'm like, that shit looks good.
Yeah, it's a nice watch though. At first, I was kind of.
Not a lot of people liked it at first. Everyone
was kind of like
everyone loved the 15 to 17s, but ask everyone now.
No,
the
yeah,
18s are really, really good looking. They aged well.
Yeah, they really did age well, especially the little aftermarket.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like, do I get an 18 or do I get a classic? And then all my friends were like, get a classic. Like, you're gonna spend less money. We can all work together to get it fixed. You know.
Okay.
So
she said less money, and I was like, dude,
depending on what you want to do,
yeah, depending on the project,
money, yeah.
right? Depending on the project, right?
Yeah, but I guess the debate in my head was like, do I want a car payment, or do I want to pay towards cooler parts for my car? You know.
Valid.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went for the classic car. After maybe 3-4 months of searching, one of my friends sent me that link through OfferUp, and the car was in South El Monte.
Okay.
And it was already like the third or fourth car that we went to go look at, and I went with my friend, and then we looked at it. It wasn't the prettiest, but he's like, you know what? A weekend and $300, and we got this car running. And I'm like, okay. Well, at the time, I didn't know shit.
Yeah,
so I was like, totally.
You took him for his word. 100%.
Yeah, because he had a freaking Coyote swapped 65 Mustang fastback, and it's just like, okay, if he did it, I trust his word, you know. And so, like, we offered the guy was asking, I think, like $5,000 for it. And then we brought him down to like $3,200.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's a steal.
It is. Here's the kicker though. Right. Here's the kicker. No papers, like no title, no bill of sale. The only way I got that car is that this guy wrote on a sheet of notebook paper, like, let's say you sold me the car, right? He said, I, Enzo, sold this car to Marcus for $300 on a piece of paper. Damn. And that's what I took to the dealer.
To DMV.
I'm sorry, to DMV.
Okay.
And when I took it to DMV, they're like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's them saying that I bought the
purchased
car."
It. Yeah, I want to hear. What did the DMV tell you?
The lady was like so dumbfounded, and she's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Yeah, I have the keys right here," and like, sure enough,
So it worked.
It worked.
Or was it a fight?
Not really.
No, okay.
Not really. The only thing is when they typed in the VIN, because older cars have shorter VIN numbers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Top tip for everyone who wants to buy a classic car, right? And it's out of the system. They're going to see the VIN number, and they're going to be like, this isn't the full VIN number. It is the full VIN number. They didn't change the long VIN number until like some years later.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I know.
So you think I'm dumb?
Yeah,
on,
it's like, I know my car.
Yeah. You see that paper? It's mine.
That's
right?
it. That's it right there. So they were having issues typing in the VIN number, and then someone that knew came over, and they're like, "Oh no, that's an older VIN number." Right? They asked like, "What's the year of the car?" And I was like, 68, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, so that's an older." So they taught the person how to like type in older VIN numbers, but
it's always the people that don't know shit.
Yeah, I know.
Stressing you about
exactly.
Not, you know, like.
And this is my first time doing this, so I'm like, shit, like, what if I fuck up? Like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so The only problem was since it was out of the system, I had to get the VIN verified. Mm-hmm. And so they were like, "Oh, go take it to CHP." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Oh, well, shit." I should have just gone to one of those DMV registration places. Mm-hmm. Because they take care of everything.
Oh, okay. Be careful though sometimes too, because sometimes they be fucking up.
You gotta know the right people.
Yeah, you gotta know the right people because they did that to my Mustang and they messed up. They misspelled my name, everything. I was like,
oh my god, hell no.
I was like, you know the headache you guys put me through when I show my ID and they're like, it's not the right Eric. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is the right Eric.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Like whatever.
So yeah, I went to go. Before I went to CHP, I tried showing them the VIN number. But the thing is, in 68, they already switched over to the dashboard. You know, on your car.
Oh, yeah.
It has the VIN number on the dash.
On the actual front. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So back in 68, it was just like a little piece of metal riveted on. So anytime people would take off the dash cover, or like the dash pad, mm-hmm. that little flimsy piece of metal would snap off. So my VIN wasn't on my dash anymore.
Okay.
So it was on my door, and it was also stamped on the apron of the engine bay. Mm. All I had to do was just unbolt the fender a little bit and pull it back, and you could see the VIN. Mm-hmm. So I did that at DMV, and they're like, no, you have to take it to CHP, and I'm like, come on, dude, it's like right there, it's 4 bolts, right? Yeah. But they're like, no, you have to take it to CHP, and I was like, oh, well, screw it, okay. So I took it to CHP, and at CHP, I unbolted the fender. I pulled it back, and the officer was like, "Okay, let me write it down. I'll come back." Went to go do a VIN check on it. He comes back out, and he's like, "So bad news." And I'm like, "What do you mean bad news?" And he's like, "Yeah, the car was stolen."
You're lying.
And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, dude, come on, really? Like, I just bought this car, like." And he's like, but it got recovered.
Oh, I'm like, what a dick, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, no, dude, like how I hate that guy so much. No, I'm kidding. He was really cool, but yeah.
Somehow, some way, the universe is gonna send in this video.
Yeah.
You were a dick, sir. You were a dick. You should have said it was recovered and then stolen, but whatever, that's fine.
But the pause of me being like, wait, what do you mean it was stolen? Like,